Welcome to Maximus Movie Recap. In this episode, we're delving into one of the most gripping stories from the Fringe series, Plateau. The opening scene introduces Milo Stanfield, a man with autism spectrum disorder, ASD, standing on a bustling street in New Jersey. He appears to be observing a woman inside a nearby flower shop while simultaneously performing intricate calculations in his mind. Milo meticulously notes the timing of various events unfolding around him: the approach of a passenger bus, the presence of a pothole, a street artist at work, and a speeding cyclist. After processing these observations, Milo crosses the street and strategically places a pen atop a mailbox adjacent to the pothole. What follows is a carefully orchestrated chain reaction. A taxi runs over the pothole, splashing water onto the pen and causing it to fall to the ground. The dropped pen catches the attention of the street artist, who steps forward to pick it up. At that precise moment, the speeding cyclist collides with the artist, sending him crashing into the mailbox and then into a nearby fruit stand. The ensuing chaos draws the attention of everyone on the street, including a distracted driver. As the commotion unfolds, the driver fails to notice the traffic light turning red and inadvertently hits the woman crossing the road. She is killed on the spot. Amid the chaos, Milo calmly watches his plan come to fruition. After confirming its outcome, he quietly walks away, leaving the street in shock. The scene transitions to FBI Special Agent Olivia Dunham, who works for the Fringe Division of Homeland Security, specializing in paranormal phenomena. Olivia appears to be returning to work after an extended absence due to a head injury. As she enters the division, she is greeted by a fellow officer, Charlie, the team's supervisor. Meanwhile, the agency's chief, Walter Nett Bishop, is in conversation with one of the lab assistants, Philip Broyles, regarding Olivia's return. Philip expresses concern, revealing that this Olivia is actually a doppelganger named Folivia. He questions whether integrating an imposter into their team is wise. It is then disclosed that the Olivia inside the office is not the real one. She has been brought in to replace the original. Walter Nett explains his motivation for implanting the real Olivia's memories into Folivia. He reveals that Folivia is uniquely capable of traveling between universes unharmed and insists they must convince her she belongs in this universe. When Philip raises concerns about what happens if she fails to assimilate, Walter Nett coldly replies that she will no longer be necessary. The focus shifts to a briefing by Charlie, who discusses a seemingly random bus accident that has occurred twice in 1 week, each resulting in a fatality. He advises the team to exercise caution during the site investigation. Soon after, the FBI team, led by Agent Lincoln Lee, whose face bears severe burn scars, arrives at the accident site. Charlie inspects the victim's body and uses her fingerprints to identify her as Julian Foster. Olivia questions the shaken bus driver, who claims he has never hit anything before, not even a bird. Meanwhile, Agent Lee tests for environmental factors but finds nothing unusual, though he does discover a ballpoint pen at the scene. After interviewing eyewitnesses, Olivia learns that a local artist bent down to pick up the pen, collided with a cyclist, and triggered a chain of events culminating in the woman's death. Agent Lee speculates that the pen was the catalyst for the accident. The next day at headquarters, Lee and Charlie analyze the accidents and spot the same pen in a photo from the first incident, solidifying Lee's belief that the events were orchestrated. They consult Astrid, a mathematician in the Fringe division, who dismisses the idea that anyone could deliberately manipulate such a chain of events. However, their discussion is interrupted by news of another bus accident. At the new scene, the victim is still alive. Witnesses report that a dog crossing the road caused the bus to lose control. Olivia notices a familiar ballpoint pen rolling on the ground and realizes the chain of events is still unfolding. She looks up and spots a suspicious Milo watching from an overhead walkway. Moments later, a man wearing earbuds steps into the street and is struck by an ambulance. Olivia alerts her team and races towards Milo, who quickly calculates another series of events, throwing a bicycle off the walkway to redirect a bus. Despite her efforts to stop him, Milo escapes by jumping onto the bus's roof. Later, Milo returns home to his sister Madeline, who is worried about him. She reveals that the hospital has been calling about his overdue return, but Milo ignores her. She pleads with him to surrender, but he coldly anticipates her every word, silencing her. Madeline then shows him a small plastic horse, a childhood keepsake from their mother, which unsettles him. He dismisses it as irrelevant and walks away. Meanwhile, Agent Lee undergoes a regular skin checkup at the hospital. Before entering the burn chamber, he advises Olivia to find connections among the victims. Olivia discovers that all three were tied to a medical facility conducting experimental procedures to boost intelligence. She and Charlie visit the facility, where Dr. Lev, the chief doctor, identifies Milo as a patient who underwent an IQ-boosting drug trial. The experiment exponentially increased Milo's intelligence, but he was supposed to return to reverse the process. Dr. Lev reveals that Milo is now beyond their control and is eliminating anyone who poses a threat. With this information, Olivia and Charlie visit Madeline. Initially, she denies knowing Milo's whereabouts, but Olivia shares a personal story about her late sister, earning Madeline's trust. Madeline reluctantly discloses Milo's location. Olivia and Charlie decide to confront him directly, knowing he can predict their every move. At his hotel, Milo calculates scenarios to evade capture and plans to kill Olivia by luring her into a construction site's thin air zone, where falling cement bricks will finish the job. However, Olivia's unpredictable actions, such as running through the thin air zone without a respirator, thwart his calculations. Shocked by the failure of his plan, Milo is captured. Olivia nearly succumbs to asphyxiation, but is saved by Charlie. Later, Olivia visits Milo's hospital room, where doctors reveal that his IQ has surpassed even their supercomputer's ability to process his thoughts. The experimental drug's effects are irreversible. Madeline leaves the toy horse for Milo, a silent gesture of love and loss. That evening, Olivia experiences a vision of Peter, her boyfriend from another universe. Peter tells her she doesn't belong in this world and points out that her lack of familiarity with the universe's warning signs saved her life. He urges her to recall her true memories and kisses her before disappearing.